Hi, I'm Terry. Welcome to another video. It's the last weekend of March, so officially it's autumn, but it's a glorious day. It's really good. So I think today we might head down to one of my favourite beaches for probably the last swim of summer. Come on, let's go. There are two beaches at Sorrento. First one we're looking at here is the ocean beach. That goes out to Bass Strait, a little bit wilder, a little bit of surfing and some gorgeous rock pools for swimming in. Later we're going to go and check the bay beach. Okay, but first let's go up there, have a look at that lookout, see what we can see. So behind me is Bass Strait that goes all the way to Tasmania, and if we look around this way, that goes to sea. And a lot of kids are here. Okay, the rock pools at Sorrento. Check this out, it's absolutely gorgeous. Well, this ocean beach is fantastic, but there's another part to Sorrento. It's a lot calmer than this. Come on, let's go check that one out. But first, it's time to get something to eat. I'm hungry. Come on, let's nip into town, see what they got. Okay, time for a bit of lunch. We've got a really nice little vegan pie here and a gorgeous little escargot. This is the Bayside beach here in Sorrento, so it's much more serene, much more family friendly. Very pretty, lots of Norfolk pines for shade, and it's a nice place for the kids to come and have a little dabble. Good place to do your Instagram shots.
Oh, that's really good too.
Going for a little walk along the jetty here in Sorrento. The bay's really calm, it always is, and it's quite different to the back beach there where the surf's up and the waves are crashing on the rocks. But yeah, this is much more family friendly and it's gorgeous. Nice place to come and have a picnic and have a little swim and know that you're going to be safe. Very pretty, I like it. So I'm not sure if you can see behind me, but that's the ferry that's come from Queenscliff. It's about a half-hour ferry ride from the other side of the bay. And if you think you kind of struggle a little bit with parallel parking in the city, watch these guys park. They're amazing. There's actually a little bit of history associated with Sorrento, quite a significant bit of history. Most people don't know about it, so come on, let's go explore. So most people think that when John Batman came up the top of Port Phillip to what's now Melbourne and established the village of Melbourne, that was the first settlement in Victoria. And most people would be wrong, because it was actually here in Sullivans Bay, just next to Sorrento, that the first European settlement was in Victoria. It was 1803 and Lieutenant Colonel Collins in the Calcutta and another ship came here. They were actually on their way to Hobart, where there was a settlement, and then the officials learned that the French were kind of sniffing around this area, so he got orders to come here and establish a settlement so the British could claim it. And he came in through the gap at Port Phillip Bay. Basically, he was pretty lazy about it. He took the first right, came to the first beach and went, yeah, this'll do, and established a settlement with a whole bunch of convicts. They were here for about 3 or 4 months. It was the middle of summer. It was really hot. He had trouble finding permanent water and eventually went, bugger this, uprooted and went off to Hobart, and that was the end of the settlement. And it wasn't until 1835 that Batman and then later Faulkner came back here and established what became Melbourne and settled Victoria for the Europeans. One of the convicts here was a guy called William Buckley, and before Collins uprooted and took off for Hobart, Buckley decided it was a good chance to do a runner. So him and a couple of other convicts took off. They went back there behind me. The soldiers didn't give chase for very long, so Buckley and the convicts got away. And their idea was that they were going to walk back to Sydney, which was at that stage the only settlement on mainland Australia. But they didn't quite realise they were in a bay, so instead of walking to Sydney, they ended up walking around the bay. Well, Buckley did. The other two got lost and nobody found out whatever happened to them. We're assuming they perished. But Buckley walked right around the bay over a period of time until eventually he came around to the other side of the bay and he could look out and see the place where he just left. It's quite a narrow entrance to the bay. So that was pretty disheartening. There's a whole story behind William Buckley. Maybe I'll do that in another video. He ended up living here for 30-something years before the next bunch of white fellas turned up. So he lived with traditional Aboriginals, and it's a fascinating story. But yeah, Buckley left from here, doing a runner up that beach behind me, and it's all part of the history here. Mind you, if I was Buckley, I'd probably do a runner here too. It's gorgeous. I'd really like to hang out here. I think in those days he didn't quite have all the comforts we have now. And what we have here are 4 graves from that first settlement. These are the first Europeans buried here in Victoria, or what became Victoria. Okay, battery's running low. Time for one more dip before I go. Let's get in. It's the end of March, so it's probably the last decent day of weather we're going to have for a while. We're hot enough for swimming anyway. It's about 28, 29 today Celsius, and then we're in autumn. So the battery's running low. It's a beautiful day and a gorgeous beach, and it's time for one last dip. Here we go. How good is this? Hey, if you got any ideas of where else you'd like to see me explore, day trips from Melbourne at the moment, put something down in the comments down below and let me know where you'd like me to go and visit next and feel. I look forward to seeing what you've got to offer. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Ciao.